Good morning. Welcome to Our Town at Comma Coffee. This morning's guest is Dave Williams. He will be talking about running for Board of Supervisors. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Troy Alfonso, Parts Manager at Capital Ford.
I'm Shel Tingley, Service Manager. Did you know that just 29 miles south of Reno is one of Ford Motor Company's highest rated service departments? Feel confident in knowing where to service your Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury.
At award-winning Dick Company's Capital Ford, just 29 miles south of Reno.
Welcome back. We're here with Dave Williams, who's going to be running for the Board of Supervisors, Ward 3. Good morning.
Good morning.
And so what made you think about getting into this race?
Well, first the power company wanted to put huge telephone poles in our backyard and along Solomon and by Seeliger School, where there's more than 500 kids every day. So I got involved in that fight and was told you can't take on the power company. We did successfully get them to go underground on part of Solomon Road with the power poles. Pete Livermore became involved, and he suggested that I should run because he liked the way I worked on this project. And so that got me thinking. I've gone to some Board of Supervisors meetings, and I'd like to be part of the city's growth.
Yeah, because now Pete's been on that board quite a long time and done quite a bit, and those are some big shoes to fill for getting things done.
Well, Pete doesn't blow his own horn, but behind the scenes he does respond to people's needs and do things that really help them. For example, there was some road construction over there near the Cracker Box, and business owners were complaining, and he got city leaders and business owners together to work it out so they'd keep having business and traffic at their business. But it's something he doesn't toot his horn about.
Yeah.
I like that style.
Okay. And so what's the issue, what's the big issue that you're seeing as being the centerpiece of this this campaign?
Money and taxes. The federal government has set the tone by spending and spending and spending some more, and some people here seem to have caught the fever, and I think we need to keep a conservative approach and save, because it may be getting even uglier.
Yeah.
And so this Nugget project has me concerned. I'm really concerned whether it's the right project and whether we can afford it.
Yeah, last night there was the meeting of the committee that's looking into this, and what did you think about the presentations you saw?
I felt a lot of things didn't hold up. We've been waiting for months to get a more solid handle on the figures. We still don't have the figures. When they presented it to the Board of Supervisors earlier this year, Supervisor Shelley Aldine pointed out that they didn't have plans for adequate parking. Last night, they still don't have plans for adequate parking. They know what a parking stall costs, but they haven't figured out the parking. I disagree with Steve Neighbors when he says his client is the city. His client is not the city. He represents the Nugget and the Nugget Trust and the Nugget Foundation. He's interested in making money for the Nugget at no risk to the Nugget. He's got a parking lot that's not bringing in any income, so whatever's built there will undoubtedly bring customers to the Nugget. But the Nugget, other than leasing a parking lot, is not at risk at all on this $80 to $100 million investment.
All right. I think we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
I'm 67 years old, and I may bend, but I never break.
When some people hit 50, stiffness makes it harder to do the things they love.
I'm 68 years old, and I live by one motto: always stay flexible.
Twin Lab Joint Fuel nutritionally supports healthy joint and bone function and helps keep you strong so you can do the things you love.
I'm 75, and I've always said if somebody does something nice for me, I'll do backflips for them.
Twin Lab Joint Fuel.
Welcome back, and we're talking with Dave Williams and talking about the Nugget project. Now, when we just left, we were talking about parking, and last night I was a little confused. It seemed that Steve Neighbors said that the parking part of this project was going to be part of the public part of the project, and I'm guessing that means the city might be paying for this parking structure. Is that what you saw, or was it?
I was completely confused. He said how much it costs per stall, but it sounds to me like the Nugget won't put up any dollars on this project, and It's changed from condos and lofts to now they want to take state leases. So you'd have landlords in town who are paying their property taxes and maintaining their building who have state leases. The project would be taking those state tenants out and moving them downtown, which leaves a vacant building elsewhere. That is not growth and development. That's just stealing from good landlords who are presently in town.
Well, see, when Mark Lewis, who was consultant at the meeting talking about the project, said that the state leases, you know, getting these 3 state agencies into these new buildings is really critical to the project. And they have a deadline of June to sign some of these leases. Now, looking at the state's budget problems, you know, of moving from their existing offices to better, newer, probably more expensive offices, and the cost of actually moving, do you think there's a chance that that really is the key, that this can't go forward without that? Is that what you understood from last night?
I mean, that was a new one. Before, he was going to have these high-tech, high-income people living there. Now it's state leases. And yes, I don't believe the state's going to want to pay to move offices and pay more, even if it's discounted, because the state's asking 10%, even 20% discounts presently where they are. So how is this going to be productive and profitable at a new site? I don't get. And what again, what about the landlords who presently have state tenants? Who are they going to rent to? It's another thing. I don't see why the Nugget, if this is such a great project, why don't they go out to many of the vacant spots around town? Like you said, the vacant Kmart, you can film the Titanic there. Why not go and show us that a business incubator, digital media center can work in other parts of town? It doesn't have to be downtown. Let's see it work. Hey, that would really convince me if I see a real profitable enterprise coming out of those other vacant spaces.
Well, now the one argument they make was the construction phase of this project will create about 500 jobs, fairly well-paying jobs, and that's a boost for the economy that can kind of get Carson City going, and that the project itself kind of puts the city into a new direction. And is that how you see it, or are you?
I see it as 3 to 5 years where it'd be great for construction workers, and then they'll move on to another boom project, maybe elsewhere. And you don't have. He said that you'd have permanent jobs. Where's the permanent jobs? There won't be permanent jobs after it's all built. Not anywhere near 500 anyway.
Yeah. So now, what other issues that you see? I saw the cutting of the budget. They were talking about maybe even cutting sheriff deputies in order to meet the budget.
Well, our law enforcement comes first in our budget. We don't have anything to do with the school system. We've got to preserve the deputies and keep it safe. We've got a gang problem in town. We've got drugs. We've got violence, and you need to have the deputies available to respond. And you may have to cut in other places. Of course, other people have their bailiwicks and they don't want to be cut, but law enforcement has to come first.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching, and tune in for the next episode of Our Town at Comic Coffee.